Alright, fuckers. Somebody decided that they would prefer if instead of like just going over specific concepts, if I voiced over and just did a little commentary on a full game. So here it is. My logic behind this is I always go Watcher's Gift. It gives your best amount of gold and XP that you can get as a support without taking too much from everybody else. Weakening or enfeebling, either one is always a good way to start. Obviously you'll go creeping before that, the tier 1 of it. But I looked at them, they've got a Hell, a Zhongkui, and an Anubis that get shut down, all of them by weakening. As you notice though, this isn't a normal team comp, we're in a casual game here. It's not, obviously every game isn't going to be the same, but if they have a healer, it's never a bad idea to go weakening. Just knowing when to pop it is your best plan. We're going with a full pre-made here of people that have been playing together for a while. So it never really hurts to play with your friends, and honestly, this is a good group of people that I've found. You notice our Thor is just now leaving the base. He's doing a red pot start, which you usually don't leave until like 17-ish seconds. But the rest of us are over here because none of us are starting that way. With Khepri, you notice I'm trying to get it positioned on the two of them so that they take less damage. Jonah keeps screwing that up for me, though. He really likes to mess with me. Even though he's going to be the one that takes the damage if I don't body block this shit correctly. But I body blocked it right, and we got Dark Rye, his red, he's heading to lane. And I want to hit him and everything that he's aiming at, because he takes less damage for a little bit. With my shield, he usually can tank it with Death's Toll, and as you see, his health didn't even move. With the Khepri shield coming back up every couple seconds, you really don't have to worry too much about it. So Darkrai got fucked. Yeah, he had just come back, but I threw a little bit of my 2 out to help with the wave clear. They should have just an insane amount of wave clear compared to us, but they're not really conserving abilities very well. The tick damage off the Zhongkui 1 really just gets mitigated by the Khepri shield, and I suck. That's all it comes down to with that pull. But once you see that there's a possible kill, pop your creeping and just burn. And Jonah's really fucking good, so that really, really helped us there. He kind of carries me, and that's why I look good in these videos where, like, I can actually do things. So we pretty much just cleaned out the wave where he's getting a head start on the next one. Instead of freezing the wave like you would do in a lot of cases where the opponent is in the lane, we decided to just push it into the tower. Anytime a tower gets hit by a minion, or a minion gets hit by a tower, it loses all of the gold amount that you would be getting all gold and XP from it. So we just kind of backed out, they came back, and we're just restarting the laning phase. Nothing special. I always like to take my 2 the most, especially in situations where they're should be out clearing us. In this case, we're just shitting on these guys in clear, and Jonah's just ridiculously good and does all the work, as usual. Like I said, he makes me look good, and that's why I can actually do things. I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of the wave clear there. I threw the 2 out. They do a little bit less damage. Actually, I don't even know if that's still on Khepri or not. But I think at this point, the minions were still dealing less damage. Alright, just standing there trying to get in front of him so that I take the brunt of the attacks from the minions. Because, yeah, he's got full health, but anytime I can take a little bit of damage away from him is a good thing to do. Especially considering I have 2 health pots left. The first time I go back, if I still have those potions, I'm going to sell those things. So it can't hurt to at least like get some use out of them. We already have our ults, and those guys are still level 3. So we're looking really good right now. We can just be as aggressive as we want. I've got the Khepri ult in any case. As you can see, I like wait to line stuff up a lot. I don't like jump right into just throwing abilities out at random. And they've got us in a bad spot right here. Like, in theory, we should be getting destroyed at that moment, but they didn't have ults. One of them had an ult. He just got his, and he rolled out of it. So I'm just kind of delaying him a little bit and then just calmly walking away. See, this is the point where we haven't backed, so they have a lot more items than we do, and somehow Jonah's still like half mana. This is out of hand. Now I'm level 6. We're just in a really bad spot health-wise, but we've still got the upper hand, and it's helping out. We called for a gank at this point, and yeah, the small amount of lag pulls him straight out of the air if you can get him early. I think we screwed this one up. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Jonah whiffed his ult. I think it's Alexei is jungling for us right now, and he dove to pick it up. Fucked it up, so he's trying to run out. And nope, yeah, I can't reach him. So you can hear Dry Bear sighing at us because I just really hate myself and like to be BM'd by my own announcer pack. It was probably unnecessary for me to ult there, but you can never be too safe. You never know what is going to happen. If he had right-clicked and just popped his ult, which he may or may not have as Anubis, I'm not sure. But if he had started the ult, he probably would have one-shot Apollo, so it can't hurt to just pop that out. You see, I sell the potions, I went for the cooldown boots, and then immediately leave with a sentry and a regular ward. At this point in the game, the purple's coming back up, so I'll probably ward that area, because lately a lot of people have been trying to steal it. I don't know what's going on with that, but it seems like every game I get into, if you leave that purple alone and don't have wards on it, right now, see the Cirquette is coming right in here and trying to steal this. She's only level 6 too, which puts us in a really good position. Jonah's 7, I'm 6, and we have Thor on this side of the map. We're sitting really comfortably right now. I don't know where their Zhang Kui is. But see, he already dropped the purple, just made it safe, and he threw out a hammer that really didn't go too well. Okay, no, Alexei was our hell, so it must be Darkrai as our jungler. Okay, see, I keep taking my 2 because that's the best amount of wave clear and damage that I can do. Just kind of bouncing around. And see, we try to go for the purple, it's not up, so might as well head towards middle and do a little defending, because our mid laner's having some trouble. We got a 7 versus a 9, and that's never what you want. So just let the minions tank it, throw my 2 out, and then pass it off to him. If I don't want to take too much of his farm. And Jonah's safe, but he just probably shit his pants. I kind of screwed up on my ward there. My sentry is in a decent spot. That'll pretty much spot out any one of their wards that are on the Gold Fury. But I really fucked up and I placed the regular ward too far in. I would really more like to have it in that little triangle area. But I was probably just not even thinking and just placed it. Another good spot for the Gold Fury ward is directly under the Gold Fury. So it makes them have to either spend 2 or 3 seconds trying to find the spot where they can comfortably hit it, or they just have to pull the Gold Fury and then take that damage while they're trying to clear your ward. I prefer to place it a little further out just because sometimes people place them way on the end, and the spot that I put it at gets you pretty much vision of the entire thing. See, I get the pull, and we're at no health, but luckily our jungler had let us know he was coming in. And I was just sitting there waiting. If he had another ghost on him, I probably would have popped the ult, because you can never be too safe. And I suck. But hey, we got the 3 off, and that's all that matters. Our hell continues to struggle in mid, but you don't really care about that. It's an Anubis. Yeah, you're going to get shit on most of the game. But if we get hell to late game, it's over. And you can hear Cirquette coming in. I can't really see her on the map, but her 3 is so ridiculously loud that you know she's in the area at least. And Jonah's just knocking down their tier 1. Has no regrets about that. Even though he doesn't have his ult, he's got his mez and his dash. So I'm going to head over to that left side and just hope that I can get him. Oh, his ult came up, but not in time. That's what happens when you split push without wards, but hey, he got the tier 1, so worth, maybe? So this is another thing that I switch off doing depending on the game. You can see I took my 2 instead of putting another point in my ult. So it depends on how often I need to use my ult, whether or not I take another point in the ult for the extra health that they'll come back with, or put another point in the 2. I'm feeling really comfortable this game if I took my 2. Obviously, I haven't really had to use my ult at all, so it's like, what's the point of taking it? I'm looking for the pull. There it is, but she's probably going to get away. Nope. Okay, the ticking damage off the 2 was a good call, apparently. But it really comes down to how much do you want to be able to clear versus how much do you think you're going to have to carry your team. With these guys, I'm very trusting of them. Okay, so I looked at their team. They've got Magical Anubis, Magical Zhong Kui, Magical Hell. That's 3, and I don't really worry too much about the Hou Yi damage at this point. He'll do a lot of damage late game, but not too much early game. And with the Serket, yeah, she's a lot of physical damage, but her ult is true damage. So you're really only getting 1.5 players worth of physical damage on this team, while you're getting 3 players worth of magical damage. So yeah, most people will say go straight for the sovereignty instead of a heart ward, just because of the fact that you will end up tanking minions a lot, and towers and stuff like that do physical damage. In certain specific cases like this, it just comes down to what are you against. If you're comfortable with... Oh, yeah, he fucked up. If you are comfortable with taking the Heart Ward, you think most of your damage is going to come from Heart Ward, go for it. Do not have any regrets about that. Now, we didn't want to aggress onto the tier 2 because there's really not much that you can get out of that. I threw my sentry up here thinking, oh, hey, they're going to be warding in their back area because they're going to be scared of ganks, and apparently not. And I suck. That just is all that 3 came down to. Preferably, you would want to be throwing your sentry on the Gold Fury. In this case, I was really comfortable with where I put it. They think we're on the Gold Fury, so he's getting a face check on it. And once he sees that we're not, he's going to rotate. Got the ult on him. They're just waiting my ult out. They're not too worried about it. I was really hoping for a pull on the Anubis, but I happened to miss and get the other one. So Anubis just got right out of there. But on the bright side, we should get 1 here at least, because Jonah's good. And nope, we suck. This is one of those moments where you're just like, I can't believe we just did that. Okay, see, I got ulted by Serket. If I die next to somebody, I'm spreading that to the rest of my team. So I wanted to go the opposite way so that there's no chance of me spreading that to Jonah and possibly getting him killed, when in reality, he just got himself killed because I don't know what the hell he was doing in that side camp. With our group, we have a lot of issues of like trying to save each other when there's really no chance of us saving each other, and we're really just idiots. So Hell is in mid lane. As you can see, our Soul, shout out to Xandes here, is hanging out in the lane with her, but right when she backs is when they decide to aggress on her Hell. And they have no regrets about diving into the back of the tier 1 at this point. And then they just go right back around and they're safe. So the easy way to clear out of this, throw the 2 out, and then once they're far enough back that you don't feel like you're going to get shit on, just dash through the wave. That is your 2 best clears. At this point, I'm leveling the 2, then the ult, and then the dash. In a game that you feel like you should be safer, go the 2, or go ult, 2, 1, 3. I know your 3 gives you a larger root time, but the amount of damage that you put out early game with your 1 is actually pretty significant. So, waiting for the ult, and really didn't expect her to do that much damage. And I remember saying that exact phrase to her. You can see us talking on the right side right now. She's like, where the hell is the ult at? And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, it really comes down to you want to save it until the last second, but in cases like that, they just shred through the health, and sometimes it'll screw you over waiting till the last second. And I got him with the ticking damage. The damage from Khepri's 2 is nothing to laugh at. It is a significant amount. And I don't know why we are spamming VGS at each other, considering we're all in Curse together. Alright, so we're going Gold Fury. We have no eyes on anybody at this point, but there's only 2 up. It's a pretty safe Gold Fury. And as long as we hold it out of that Ho Yi ult, which he really should have gotten eyes on it before he did that, and now I'm scared. And I ulted, and I'm safe. But I really should be getting out of there at this point. There was no reason for me to stay there. We only had 2 of us on it, and then Jonah showed up later. There was really no reason for me to stay in there. So I just finished my Heart Ward, start Sovereignty, and get the ward started. Right there, it looks like I also finished off my Weakening Curse at this point. Xandy's getting that dank split push off, but Anubis came to defend it, and she just smartly ran away. That's not someone she wants to screw with, considering it looks like he is 15 versus 14. It's not bad, but they collapsed on her, and we get a free mid tower out of this if we push this. Oh, nope, hell showed up. But we have 3 in right, 1 in mid, 1 in left. So I'm looking over at the right side because I'm going to have to defend that. Unless they completely pull out and turn on our mid lane, or our mid, we're going to have to defend that right lane. And it looks like he is just pulling out of it. So I'm just going to throw a little clear on this. Try to get some minions off the tower so that it doesn't completely get taken by minions, so that they only need 1 hit left on it. And then I'm heading towards mid. Probably should have been someone other than me defending that right lane. Xandy's probably should have warded so that she would know that people were coming in, but they overextended and we get a free kill out of it. So no complaints here. Jonah is trying to defend from the split push on the left side. He's got the Ho Yi just backed up, just scared of him this entire game. And luckily our mid laner has actually bought a regular and a sentry ward right now, and I'm not scared of this guy at all. I have ults, and I need to ult Jonah, but I got frozen? I don't know what the hell just happened there. It had to have been an Anubis stun. But I was sitting there trying to ult him. They throw him, and then I get stunned, and I'm just sitting there unable to help him at all. It's really kind of depressing. So we're going to try to aggress on these guys. Xandy's is going to try to lock her down with the ult. And, yeah, Darkrai just comes in. Ults are also, she's just done. There's nothing she can do from there. If I can get the root off on him, don't have the pull, but and I missed the root because I suck as usual. I'm trying to get away from this at this point. And I'm just dead. There's nothing I can really do here. So just try to put out as much damage as possible and stall him for a little bit. This is one of those cases where we really shouldn't be fighting this. I don't know why we decided to chase the same guy for so long. It's probably because we suck and we missed all of our abilities repeatedly on an Anubis that had like 10 health. And this fight is just a throw for us. Like, we were so far ahead in gold, and now we just traded like 2 kills for like 6. Realistically, we should not have been in that fight after the first kill. Luckily, I think we end up defending the tower out of this. Rest in peace, T-Screen. We miss you already. But Zhong has this habit of just repeatedly diving here, and he's pretty much giving us the game when he does that. Half of his health is gone. I can just pull him out of there, and we're taking forever to actually kill him, but hey, we got him. We got 1 more out of it. So we take actually the gold lead out of that. Darkrai is getting ballsy, but he thinks better of it. So I just throw the 2 out there to clear, and then it's time to start warding again. There's really no way we're going to be... Yeah, he called the left tower attack. It's not a good idea. I happened to notice that they were hitting that, and he whiffs the 3, but Jonah cleans it up. If you notice that they're hitting their back or one of their camps, you'll see the animation without actually seeing the person sometimes. So it can't hurt to just check to see if it's like 1 or 2 people. And I did not suck that time for once in my life. And he cleans it up with the double tap. If you see them clearing the camp, it never hurts to face check, see how many people are actually on it. If it's just 1 or 2 and you've got enough people that you feel comfortable with it, I don't know why we're split pushing here, let's be honest. We're just asking to get collapsed on. Even though they do have much fewer people than us. I need to ult him. He needs to kill himself. He needs to get in that Zhong Kui ult and get himself killed, that's exactly what he does. And then he tries to ult out, and it really just was in the middle of everything. I think I started making fun of him at that point, asking him what the hell he was doing. Xandy's is just screwed. There's not really a way to get out of this one, because Serket is so damn mobile, and I don't have my pole up to help her. So at this point, we've got 2 different fights going on with 2 of us taking on 4 of them. That is a lesson in not overextending. No matter what you do in those cases, like, you may get the Phoenix to half health, but if there's even 1 person there to defend it, we're level 14, 15. It's just not going to happen. We were better off just pushing one of the objectives and taking their camps. Or even one of the 2 towers that are still up. We didn't have Fire Giant. It's just not a good fight that we should have taken. So we're actually behind by a pretty significant amount now. It's not great. It's only about 1,000. But that can turn the game, especially when considering we were like 4 or 5k ahead at one point. So it looks like Thor just backed. Everyone's posturing on the right side for Fire Giant. Serket is trying to handle... There we go. And a good Khepri ult can pretty much save the hell. She Aegis'd it perfectly, too, to prevent the tick damage from finishing her off, because she can't heal during that time. So I'm going to drop a Sentry on Fire, and they have not been warding at all this game. I don't even know why I'm buying Sentries anymore at this point, because I probably should have realized that they're just not even going to give me wards to kill. So as I said before, this is kind of a non-typical game. This is just one that happened to be good for showing the mechanics of actually supporting. Alright, so we're pushing it on 3 different lanes at once right now. Mid lane, we're not going to get this unless we get some ridiculous luck out of this. I popped the weakening so that she can't heal. Just hoping that we can do enough damage to... And the 2 should finish her off right here. But Darkrai jumps in and gets it. Really, the weakening is what saved us right there. If she had been allowed to heal at all, we wouldn't have been able to push in there and finish that off. Jonah was just kind of pushing up minions in the left lane and keeping them slightly distracted. Xandy's was doing an amazing split push on the right side. It really helped out a lot. I'm just trying to body block him in there for as long as possible now, and we can finish him off pretty easily, because she's our Alexanai with the hell is just repeatedly shitting on him. Now we've got minions in the middle. We can easily take this. And I called over for Jonah to come help us with this, because he should be able to burn this down before it's even a problem. Serket, I'm just trying to dodge her shit at this point and finish it off. And as usual, I'm the only one hitting the damn Phoenix. So I ult myself and just try to run away. It looks like they're not going to aggress back. Ho Yi just whiffs his 1 barely. We pretty much need like 2 hits on that right Phoenix now to get that thing. Jonah's having a pretty rough time. He's getting aggressed on the left side, so he's pulling out of there. Xandy's is just going to do a camp, take some of their stuff, and then she's going out. She's just taking the stuff after the stuff, as F. says. We knocked out 2 Phoenixes, and now we're just taking their camps. Their yellow camp is up, their back camp was up. It looks like their blue is up, but we don't have a confirmation on that one. So we started posturing for Fire Giant. It's an easy call. We don't have our ADC with us, but we have our secondary ADC-ish mage that can start it up for us. So I'm just getting wards in the area. We already know they don't have anything on Fire Giant, so I'm dropping the ward off of that one to place a ward up here on this higher area. And then I decide better of it, and then I end up actually doing it. Okay. So I don't suck as much as I thought I did. Serket's coming around the backside, so I'm just looking to zone her. I get her to jump out, and the problem is solved. What we need to do right now is turn on this hell. She ended up actually getting a kill on our hell out of it, but it's time to just get out of there. Our soul has less than half health. Our Thor is about half, and we just don't want to lose this Fire Giant buff off anybody else. We've got a pretty commanding lead at about 6k right now, but right now is when we just need to run. And he gets out with a hammer throw. There's no way they're going to go in on this tier 2. Because we've got too many people up with the Fire Giant buff for them to actually do anything out of this. Jonah, as usual, just tries to split push back down that left side, keep the aggression going on the left side. I just made sure that I could get someone to this right side to defend it before I actually stuck with it. Zhong is trying to steal our buff, and I just have absolutely none of that. Jonah sees the Anubis and smartly rotates over to the red buff. I back, and it looks like I really want the CDR. But I was just kind of got indecisive. I think I decided on Mail of Renewal for whatever reason. But the Void Stone is never a bad pickup, especially if you don't have another frontliner. It gets your mages doing a lot more damage, and we have a Hell and a Soul. That's a lot of magical damage coming out. So any extra penetration I can give to them is going to be helping out in the team fights. So any aura items you can give to the team that are actually legitimate for the situation are great. Another good idea would have been Pestilence. I think I decided on that as my last item because we were keeping the Hell pretty well shut down between Weakening, and I think she has a Divine Ruin on the Soul. If I was more worried about the Hell, I would have taken it early. And we really want this right Phoenix since the other two are coming up. And I grab her, and we're just going straight burn on her. Pop the Weakening at the right time, and we did not actually end up getting it. They had a really good rotation over. So it's time for me to just get out. I need to turn, root, and keep running. Because they had a very smart 5-man rotation there. We were just spread out more than we should have been. And it's time to keep going. We did not have a very good push there. So at this point, I'm probably screaming at the team, what the fuck were we doing? Looking at the mid lane and the left lane, you really want to hope that the minions can take it. I did go for the Mail of Renewal. I wanted that extra 15%. It doesn't look like I'm going to cap my CDR because I'm an idiot. But preferably you want to have the 2 Phoenixes down that are not next to the Fire Giant. So you want your mid lane down and your duo lane down so that you've just got free push on the Fire Giant when it comes back up. Looking at mid lane, if they don't defend that, the Fire minions could take that. So we're trying to backdoor and get that left one down because it's really low. We notice the Anubis, and we really want to pick this off. So I throw the 2 out, and he gets a good stun on me. Xandy's decided to take the buff instead of hitting the Anubis. So our cover is pretty much blown. There's nothing we can do on this left side that'll actually get us anything now. So somebody must have called group up in mid. Both of our ADCs decide to go to the left side, which you really don't want to do that. You want one of them in the team fight at least if it breaks out in middle. We no longer have fire minions, so they're not going to take this Phoenix by themselves. We're going to have to push this as a team to make this happen. So it looks like we're trying to bait them out onto the right side so our ADCs can push. But the other team notices that their stuff is getting taken out by these two. So there's really no chance of us getting the split push right now, unless we can distract enough of them so that the two of them can actually take it. But Xandes, I must have called for her to rotate over, and she smartly does. I get the Surcat ult on me. I'm taking the Phoenix. I've got the Surcat ult, and luckily I get killed. So in time for the ult to actually go off. So I'm right back in the fight now. But I get taken right back out of it. Feels bad, man. But they're going to continue the fight without me. Each team is down one person. They're down Zhong. We're down me. Jonah, I don't know why he's still sitting on that left side. He took the Phoenix. It's time to go help the team now. He starts to rotate over, and it happens to be at a good time. He's catching people off guard right now, and we should have had at least 2 people hitting that Phoenix. Everyone's just kind of waiting for minions, it seems like, when we have a Soul and an Apollo. That's like 4 hits for that thing to go down between the two of them. But everyone decides that they're working towards the left lane. It really, there's nothing else to take there. He's trying to push some minions in that I don't even think are fire minions yet. He really should just be back with the team. He gets the Anubis at least, though, to rotate out of there. So I'm starting what looks like a Pestilence, finally, because I'm stupid and I decided to do that really late. We've got a group up around mid. Fire Giant is up. We have their far duo lane. The Phoenix is down. That means if they don't defend that, they've got fire minions pouring into their Titan, and that is the best possible situation for us, because that is the furthest thing away from Fire Giant. Our Thor gets picked off, which is not ideal, because they have their entire team up, and we decided to start it, which is not the best plan. So now they've got aggression back on us. I'm just hoping to get out at this point. So most of their team didn't come with them for some reason. Hell obviously is starting fire or killing a ward. With 2 people here, it's very unlikely that she's starting fire by herself. So she came over. We've at least got vision on 3 of them. I'm going to face check this to make sure they're not on it. So we've got Ho Yi in left lane. We see Zhong Kui and Anubis backing up. We see Hell backing up on the top side. I'm clear to back. All I need to do is get another sentry in there, and you can see them going back towards it, because they either think we're on it, which I doubt that considering they've got the vision. They've got the vision with the sentry. But it looks like they should be starting it right now. I don't know why they didn't go for it. Ho Yi backed or something and stopped defending left lane. We've got vision in the back line, so we can see Anubis backing back there. That's why a deep ward in their jungle can really help you at this part of the game. People are going to think that they're safe to back in their own jungle, but once you start spotting them out like that, and they kill our ward again, and we suck. But once you're able to spot them out, just knowing where their team is at is one of the best things that you can have in this game. You may not win every ward battle. You probably won't win every ward battle. But we've got 2 people back in the back starting fire, while I'm just up here zoning 4 people. You shouldn't be scared of a Khepri. So he just walks right past me. I suck. I try to pull him in, and I failed it. But luckily, he's stupid. He kept running, even after he saw the Fire Giant buff go on all of us. So Ho Yi zones us out a little bit. We can't actually get back into the fight. Jonah got zoned in with 4 people and just got shredded because of it. We've got fire, and there shouldn't be any stopping us at this point. We see the Ho Yi. For whatever god-awful reason, he jumped back towards us. We've got fire minions coming down the left side. The middle Phoenix is weakened because we've already killed that once. I popped that. And I should pop the weakening right after if she had survived that, but she didn't even survive my Khepri pull long enough for me to pop the weakening. So fire minions are going to take that left Phoenix. I'm really, really anal about taking Phoenixes. We absolutely could have ended here, but without 4 members and they've got Anubis up, I'm a little bitch. I really, really prefer to take all the Phoenixes and leave no possible chance for them to actually, pick one of us off and then we're sitting there with only one lane of fire minions coming back. So we decide we're just going to take all the Phoenixes, we take out the Anubis, and we're ending right here. We've got a couple regular minions in there and a couple fire minions shooting at it. It's going to be enough. We actually end up finishing it off with a 12k gold lead and only 3 more kills. The difference was we got the objectives and we got the people. If you guys have any questions, PM me in game. It's omnomnom.com. Or hit me up on the Reddit.